So, John, we get lots of questions coming in the email, coming in our social medias, people sending us personal questions because they think we have answers. It's like we have a little information about a lot of things. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, not all of it's valuable. In fact, very little of it is. But we do enjoy the interaction. So let's read some questions that get sent to us. And by the way, please send your questions in too. Mel, I got one for you. This one came in from Distracted Lady.
Okay.
She writes, "Dear Melanie, I ask because I know you have experience with this. I have a coworker who's quite a bit older, but he's so charming, talented, and intelligent. I find it hard to concentrate on my job. How do you get around it?" Good question. Thank you, Distracted Lady.
Yes, definitely a great question. I found that COVID has really helped because they've locked me in my own box. Being happily married as well really helps. I would say that when you love your job and you love your position, that then all of those other little scenarios that come into play, they can be entertaining and they can be, as you say, charming. But again, at the end of the day, what are you really going to get from it? And then you have to go to HR and you got to talk about your relationship if you happen to move forward with anything with your attractive coworker. I think it is just much better to just, hey, have some eye candy at work. Don't tell anyone about it because then you could be sent to HR. But at the same time, just get your work done and keep your personal life outside of the office.
I'm glad you got that question because I would have no answer. I don't even have any experience.
Okay. I have one for you.
Okay.
All right. So this comes from Franklin91. And he says, he's from Stainer. He's having a hard time loosening up around the ladies. He thinks he's a hilarious guy, but it's just not coming across properly, or especially over the virtual world. He doesn't know if he's just being too hard on himself and really wants a comparison on how funny he actually is. So he says, John, on a scale of 1 to 10, how funny would you say you are?
1 to 10, 10 being the most funniest, I would probably throw myself in at a good 3.5. Bad news is to get the ladies, you got to score at least a 6 or 7. I think, Franklin, just go for it. You got nothing to lose. It's safe and free of disease.
Yeah, diseases will be completely down with COVID. Let's hope, not to wood. I mean, all diseases, not just, the C one. Okay. All right, so let's see what else we got.
All right, this is from Casey27.
All right.
Dear Melanie, I'm doing a project on animals for school, and I'm wondering, what animal do you think is the biggest party animal, and why?
Wow, that's a really great question. A party animal.
Casey's in grade 9, by the way, so be careful.
Oh, okay, thank you for that. I think that most people would go with the lion or go with one that is more boisterous, more outwardly a little raw, but not necessarily. But I would say a giraffe.
Giraffe, interesting. I'd say a goat.
A goat?
Because they'll eat anything. They'll do whatever they want, and they just don't give a...
And they're really good at yoga.
Yes.
Okay. They are. I've always wanted to try that. Goat yoga. They step all over you. All right. So this is another one for John. This is Jordan. And he says he wants to surprise his fiance by helping out more around the apartment. Jordan asks, can you wash clothes with towels? And are there any special care strategies for doing laundries for your special loved one?
You got to check their pockets. First of all,
while they're still wearing it?
Yeah, sure. The reason you got to check the pockets is, first of all the spare change you find is yours. That's the rule. But when they leave the Kleenex or the chapstick and or the pen and you wash it, it's a nightmare. No one's happy with you.
No.
And I've always maintained that, let's be honest, we're guys. If we even attempt to do the laundry and it gets there, we win some points.
Also, I'd like to say, Jordan, just do your own laundry and don't make your fiance start picking up the laundry duties. Do your own. That is how you will keep love lasting for a lifetime.
And never wash your expensive bras with the wires in them. All right, I have another question for you, Mel. Gamer Girl 88 writes, I know that both have 8-core CPUs from AMD, but the Xboxes are clocked at 3.8 gigahertz, while the PS5s are 3.5 gigahertz. Both consoles use AMD graphic processors, but do you think the Xbox 12 teraflops of power is better than the PS5's 10.28? Do you think it's a superior gaming system?
First of all, you need the PS5, which you're just not gonna get, right? I feel like the PS5 doesn't even exist. It has been on back order for so long, and people have been trying to get it, and it's like, come on, how else am I supposed to play the new Grand Theft Auto? But that is besides the point. I have no idea what you're really asking me here when it comes to the strength of your system. Is it really the system that you're asking me the question about, or is it really something more internal that you are wanting to put on, like it's about the gaming system, but it's really more about your emotional well-being and your own self-confidence? Because
are you saying that only bad gamers blame bad games?
I'm just saying that if the answer is confidence, then I'm gonna say yes. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that was an excellent episode of Dear John and Melanie.
Well, one more question, Mel.
Oh, wow. There's one more question. Okay.
Simcoe Gale writes, your show on The Peak is called Talk to the Town with John and Melanie. Why does his name come first when you're clearly the smart one?
It's sheerly alphabetical. I actually get asked this question on not daily, definitely weekly. And that's my answer. It's alphabetical. That's the way that it just flows. And really, it comes to the whole gender conversation, which I don't want to get into, where, the man and the woman, that whole thing. But you know what? Times are changing. My picture is first on Facebook, on our so what's a name, really? It's the face that matters. We're in radio, right?
It's so true. I'm just glad they let my face on it at all.
Great question, though, and one that I've wanted to clear up for some time.
Thank you, Mel. I think we all feel better now.
Good. Well, hey, if you have a question for us, you can always hit us up on our socials, thepeakfm.com. You can send us a message. You can ask us any questions on our social. If you would like us to throw something at each other, we would love to be able to help you out with any questions that you may have.